What's going on, YouTube? It's James with ChiHammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and I got the Road to ETC number 6. This is the ESC round 4. Now, guys, basically, this is a great way to test out your list before ETC. ETC is the main event. This is the creme de la creme. This is the freaking what is it? The Royal Rumble. All right, the ETC is the Royal Rumble, but the ESC is every fucking match that happens the same day as the Royal Rumble. You don't remember any of those. You only remember the Royal Rumble. But this is I think like day 3 of me playing games here at in Salamanca, and I got a game against Lakelui. Lakelui was part of Team Luxembourg. He was a coach for Team Luxembourg, and he's playing in the singles event with his Ogre army, his Ogres, as Joel Massue would say. Guys, so let's get into this. Let's see what he has on the table. Let's see what I have on the table. I don't have his list. I don't think he published his list because he was the coach, so I don't have his list available, but we're just gonna go ahead and wing it. I can pretty much figure it all out. You can figure it out, and basically, if you're like Jack Chapman, you can figure out what I mean when I totally forget to frickin' say something. I just called you out, Thundercock. I hope you're watching this. Anyways, and Thundercock, if you are watching this, put it in the comment section below. Yes, I am watching this. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get started here. Let me show you what he has, what I have, and I don't know why my dog's pointing this way. What is this? Why are my dogs like that? I don't even know why my dogs are like that. Like, I never would put my dogs that way if we haven't dropped everything on the table. It makes no sense. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, so he has a giant clusterfuck here, but we're going to go ahead and try to dissect what's going on. On the far left side, which I think I have a better picture of it later, he has a Rock. He has 2 units of Bruiser darts. The giant monster-looking Minotaur thing over there, which you can't really see in this picture or that picture, but I'll show you in this picture. That's his level 4 Shaman. He has the Hellfist, so he has Thaumaturgy, and I think he has like the Fire Blessing and some other crap on him. I don't remember, to be honest. He has a unit of Tuskers, 3 of them. Then he has a unit of Tribesmen, a big block of them to kind of bunker up his Wizard. He has another Rock. He has 2 cannons. He has some Scraplings with the Scrapling Foreman, and that's about it. I think it's just basically 2 Rocks, Tuskers, and 2 cannons. And then the Thaumaturge. For my side, as you guys should know my list by now. If you don't, I feel really sorry for you, but I go ahead and I drop my army. Now, we're dropping back and forth. We're playing, I want to say it was Counter Thrust. It looks like it's Counter Thrust because I'm kind of far up there. I want to say it was Counter Thrust, and basically what ended up happening was that, oh, that's exactly why my dogs were put up ahead. So my dogs were put there. I'm going to go back to this picture here, because it's Counter Thrust, and basically it makes him have to deploy everything 18 inches away from me, and I got the first drop, so I put my dogs down. He has to go 18 inches away, and he starts to just drop everything far back in the corner. My dogs Vanguard, I don't even know where the fuck. Oh, my dog's vanguarded crooked, to be honest. I don't know what happened. Where are my damn dogs at? I lost my dogs. Where did my dogs go? I think they're in front of the goblins. Yeah, they are. They're in front of the goblins in Crom. There we go. And anyways, as you can see, I put Koopa on this side. Let's go back to this picture over here. I'm just jumping back and forth on pictures here. But anyways, I got the Spider on the far left. Spider's going to basically go for the flank. I got the Forest Goblins up there. The Forest Goblins, whenever I have the Spider out, I kind of need the Forest Goblins to kind of make sure they kill anything that interferes with the Spider. But I think the Spider more or less is my best bet here. And I think I try to go for first turn. I think drop-wise, I beat him for first turn. And the main goal here is to hide the Spider behind that hill up on the left side and move Crom behind the hill, hoping that he puts his guys where he would be able to shoot Crom, and then Crom jumps behind the hill, forcing him to be able to not really shoot anything except for like stuff that he's going to be hitting on 5s. That was my goal. Forest Goblins over here, Common Goblins right there. Common Goblins basically have a straight cut to shoot anything they want. Crom is just basically doing the hill bait. The Chariots all together are going for the center, going for his Rock. cave goblins are just there because they need to stay close to Zod or else they'll run away. And the black orcs are taking the right flank with Koopa. Alright, so we're going to go over your picture. Here's a picture of Lakelui himself. He's a cool guy. He was a really nice guy, actually. I liked playing against him. Now, he goes ahead, and I take first turn. This is actually Orcs and Goblins, turn 1, and I just see a comment by Johan that popped up on my screen. This is kind of distracting because he's talking about my last opponent, which, if you guys watched my last game, my last opponent kind of was playing dirty tactics. So I got turn 1, Orcs and Goblins, Zod and Goblins, Zod and Goblins turn 1. So I move up my Black Orcs. Now this is hold the center. My common goblins are basically there to hold the center. They're not moving away from that fucking center. Didn't really measure the center till later in the game. Not really worried about it. A-Rock goes run behind the hill. It's cool. Can still see if the Tuskers move up. Move my Force Goblins up. Basically gonna just shoot the hell out of the Bruisers and the Tuskers, but then eventually I want to get to that cannon right there. Common Goblins staying on the hill, want to shoot the cannon, shoot the Rocker Rocks. Basically, the Rocker Rocks are going to be a big issue, and I need to shoot as many Strength 3 bow shots as I can into them to just weaken them up. I leave the Chariots out this way, basically. My goal with the Chariots is they're far enough where if his Rocker Rock moves in, I'll be able to ram him. But the other thing here is I move my Black Orcs as the redirectors. I have it where if he charges, and it's a far charge, it's basically frenzy baiting both the Rocker Rocks. If he needs to roll a 12 to get in, but if he gets in, he's going to basically run into the fucking terrain. Koopa's going to go ahead and get a flank, or Zod could get a flank, or nobody could see him if he does it correctly. But I forgot why. I think I re-angled Koopa after I took this picture because I had it where Koopa was able to see the flank, and basically if I could get the charge off on the Rocker Rock, it's a bigger deal than if he hits the charge on me. If he gets the charge on me, he's going to ram you with Strength 7 impact hits, and that's just dead anything. So that is how I do it. I move the dogs on the hill, I move the Crom back, like I said, basically not giving him many shots for his cannons, and we're going to go ahead and play it like that. Magic phase, I got 6 power dice. Go ahead and I do a I get double 6s on, I want to say 3 dice, alright, which for a Scorching Salvo bubble, okay? So I go ahead and I do it. He's like, go ahead. Like, he lets me do this. And so I roll a 9, alright? So it blows up exactly 9 goblins. Like, I didn't miss a single fucking goblin. I blew up 9 of my goblins, get the Scorching Salvo off, and basically I always throw out the Scorching Salvo. I always throw out the Scorching Salvo as my throwaway spell, okay? Sorry if I'm telling away my tactics and everybody's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna just let that spell go through now. Because it scares the shit out of people. Because a lot of people get hit with Scorching Salvo and it like devastates their army. You start taking wounds from everybody and whatever. But to me, I don't care if I take wounds from everybody or not. I always have another spell up my sleeve that I really want to get off, but it doesn't. This situation, it didn't matter. He's like, go ahead, I blow up, I kill off one of his tribesmen, doesn't cause a panic, do like a wound to a Tusker, and that was it. Go ahead and I try to do a Pyroclastic Flow, he stops it, and then basically that is it for shooting. I don't think anything did any... Oh! I did panic the tribesman. The tribesman ran off the table. Either that or I shot him to shit. I think I might have shot him to shit with the freaking Forest Goblins, to be honest. No, I ran through. I ran away. I actually ran through his chariot off the table. Alright, anyways. Shooting phase. Shooting phase. The Forest Goblins actually shot the Tuskers. Tuskers take a wound or 2. And then basically that's how it looks. It's going to go ahead and start off his turn. Ogre Khan's turn 1. Ogre Khan's turn 1. He actually kind of shimmies around and moves back a little bit. He actually backs up a bit. So that's about it. He passes his frenzy checks. Magic phase, he gets 10 power dice. Goes ahead and he does... What the fuck did he do? I think he just did a fireball onto my... Yeah, he did. He did a fireball onto my... onto my Black Orc, excuse me. My Iron Boys. And he ends up killing off 2 of them. I don't know why he rolled 4 6s, though. That's it. Oh! He did like a Ring of Fire with 3 dice. He rolls 3 6s. Then I'm like, well, you have to throw in an extra dice because from your magic dice. And he rolls another 6, and I was like, I ain't stopping this. There's no way in hell I'm gonna. Who the fuck rolls 4 6s like that? Seriously, Jesus Christ! If we were playing Yahtzee, that guy has a fucking ridiculous score right now. Anyways, kills off 2 of my Black Orcs. It wasn't a fireball. It was the Thaumaturgy spell. What is that? The one where he does like the D6, the old blue fire. Anyways, so he miscasts, he blows up half of his tribesmen. I'm not shitting you, half of his tribesmen. So at least we both blew up turn 1. Which really limits what his tribesman potential could be, but now it's all into the rocks and cannons. Shooting phase, he shoots one of the fucking cannons, and he's like, I don't have any too good targets. Can't see the spider, can't see Crom. I'll just shoot Koopa. He shoots Koopa, hits Koopa, wounds Koopa. I fail the ward save, and he fucking just shot Koopa's peg leg right off the damn spider. Poor fucking Peggy. Are you fucking kidding me? Kills Koopa right away. That hurt. That hurt ridiculously because I was planning on using Koopa to do something else. And that's it. It's going to go ahead and start off turn 2 Orcs and Goblins. Turn 2 Orcs and Goblins. Guys, I'm going to give you a 5-second warning here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wog! I wog. Turn 2. I'm like, fuck it. I got this long charge. I see it. I'm going to go ahead and go for it. I'm going to charge the Wolf Pack, the K Pack, into that Rock. Now, I'm going to get 3d6. Let's do the math on this. 3d6, strength, 5, impact hit. So 3 plus 3. So 3d6 is on average about 10. So I'll get about 13 attacks, alright? Which will net me about 4 wounds, strength 5. Roughly around 4 wounds, strength 5. If I'm lucky, I might get an extra wound or 2 and kill the fucking Rock. Okay? That is my goal. Okay, so I charge in the K-Pack, and even if I don't get it off, it'll do enough damage where I could kill it in the subsequential turns. My other goal here is I got 2 spells. 2 spells. I didn't even go over my magic spells, but I got 2 spells that will actually boost my damage. One is the wheel turns. It'll let me hit them on 4s, wound them on 4s, and not only that, it affects the impact hits as well, so I'll be wounding him on 4s. The other one is Flaming Swords. If I get the Flaming Swords off, now and the wheel turns off, now I'm wounding him on 3s. And I'll just kill that fucking Rock, right? So I get in. Boom! Get in. Awesome. Holy shit. Can't believe I actually made that charge. Oh my god. Now if the K-Pack could kill him, right, and overrun, I'm killing everything else after that. Now as you can see, one of his cannons misfired actually. So I go ahead and I take this turn. Since his cannon misfire can't shoot for a turn, I'm going to just march the spider up, march Crom up. I use the wolf pack to block the charge of his Tuskers towards my forest goblins, and if he or my spider, because my spider can't take a straight on hit from the Tuskers right now because they're full potential. If they're weaker, sure, no problem. Spider will win, but all of them plus impact hits, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt me big time. And I just move everybody up like so. Use that to get cover from the Rock that's stuck in combat. I actually turn my Black Orcs around, move away from the other Rock because now I'm just going to basically leave that right side open and basically not give him anything to charge, and he doesn't have line of sight, so he just wastes a turn moving, more or less. Keep the Cave Goblins close to Zod and the center, basically. Magic phase. I go ahead and I get the fucking wheel turns off. Holy shit. I get the wheel turns off. I don't get Flaming Swords off though, so I'm just like, okay, this is it. This is the fucking turn, right? So I go ahead and I do shooting phase. Shooting phase, I shoot all these guys into his Tuskers, kill off one of the Tuskers. Awesome, but it does mess up my chaff. It does mess up my chaff because now he's slimmer and he could get through or whatever. I don't even think I was really chaffing him much. Over here. Close combat. We're going to use another picture for this. This one. Close combat. I get the impact hits. I do it. I roll a 1, 2, and a 5. Okay? So that's only 8 impact hits plus the 3, so it's 11 impact hits. Okay? But it's good. All I need is 4s to wound. I only get 1 4. I know you can't see me right now. And you're wondering if your mic cut out because I was quiet. But this is my pissed face. This is like, are you fucking kidding me? God damn it! Are you serious? 1 fucking wound. The crew on top, everybody. I fail fear, which doesn't even fucking matter if I fail fear because I got the wheel turns off. And I only get 1 more wound on. Now here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. He only gets 4 wounds off back. Okay? So now he opens up a gap for Zod, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to, you know, like, it's his turn next. I have a charge and 2 wounds. He has 4 wounds. He wins by 1 in fear. I roll the dice. They stick there, which is actually pretty impressive. I'm okay with that. That is totally okay. It's going to start off his turn. Ogre Khan's turn 2. Ogre Khan turn 2. He charged, or he moved his Tuskers out of line inside of the spider, moved them around the chaff, right? He moves his Rock over this way, facing the flank of Zod and the cave goblins. He moves his hunter character, forgot about him. He has a hunter with the bluffer's helmet and all that shit over on this side. And then he basically moves all his chaff around. Now my whole goal here is if I could break the Rock right now in the center, I'll be able to get into the softer stuff on that side, kill his general, kill all that stuff, right? Magic Phase, he got 4 power dice. He goes ahead and he drops a comet right there. Right there. Now, I don't care if the goblins die. What are you going to do? Kill 12 goblins? Ooh. I doubt he's going to do many wounds to Zod, or Crom and Zod. So, I'm not too worried. It's going to hurt my forest goblins, but whatever. They're there to soak up bodies right now. And shooting phases. Shoots the cannon right into the spider. Puts on 3 wounds. That fucking thing hurts. I fucking hate cannons. I fucking hate them. Alright, but he put 3 wounds onto the spider. And then these guys, oh, that was the other cannon. The other cannon freaking misfires and cannot shoot for the rest of the game. As you can see, he's plugging up the hole. Alright, over here, close combat. my dog puts on another wound out of the chariots. The fucking K-Pack puts on a wound. He goes ahead and he attacks back, and he does it. He fucking whiffs. And you know why he whiffs? Because they are weapon skill 3 on there. The monster and the ogre are weapon skill 3, and my chariot dogs are weapon skill 3. So he's hitting me on force. He fucking whiffs. And I mean, he fucking whiffs. At least it went both ways. Alright, so my chariots are holding on for another turn of combat. That is just ridiculous. And it's going to go and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Now, Orcs and Goblins turn 3, I go for a massive charge turn. Now, before I get there, before I get to the next picture, okay, because I'll do Orcs and Goblins turn 3 again. I'm thinking to myself, like, aha, this Rock is dead. I'm going to charge in with Zod, and he can't stop me, right? So what he goes is like, well, he actually rolls for a reform, a combat reform. I was like, go ahead, you go first or I go first. I forgot how I did it. I think I did it where I go first or he goes first. Doesn't even matter. I forgot which way it went. So what he ends up doing, now I'm going to go ahead and show this picture. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. He moved, after I moved, I think it was, to a position where Zod can't make a double wheel. Oh my god. He got away from Zod charging him. So I charge Crom in. Crom fails the charge. I charge the... I forgot who. I think I might have charged the spider. I think I charged the spider. I think I did charge the spider. And the spider failed to charge it to those tribesmen. Or to the bruisers. But I had to charge the dogs too because the dogs were in the way. The dogs get in, of course. The dogs were the only thing that got in. Everybody else failed to charge. Which just... oh, it's infuriating because now I'm just leaving myself open all over the place for him to shoot me another turn, and it wasn't really that much of a whatever. So Zod moves up like this, basically getting away from his Rock and getting away from his hunter. Forest goblins get in the forest because I figured I'll be stubborn in the forest. And basically I leave the flank open of the spider because she missed this charge, but at the same time I think I'll be okay against those Tuskers. Move the common goblins onto the objective, and then I move the cave goblins back. And now, again, it is so far out there that if he does try to charge me, it's going to be a tough time. I move the black orcs, I reform them and move them up to the flank of his rock, basically forcing his hand. He can't sit back there because I'll charge the flank of him with my black orcs, which will probably die to a rock, to be honest. But I'll be able to put a lot of wounds through. So, Magic Phase got 8 power dice. Go ahead and I do Flaming Swords on these guys. Get it off with 666. God damn it. Now, this is before I started losing all my Mexico dice. But I got a new Orc dice, which I love. And then I have those Mexico dice, which are the freaking the Skull Candy and the Sombrero. Those things were hot. Every fucking roll were 6s. I was loving them. But I traded them all away. I only got like 1 or 2 left. That sucks. I had 3 left. And then some hot chick came up to me on round 6. And then... took it from me, and I was like, damn it, now I only got 2. Alright, So I get Flaming Swords off. He lets it go through because I'm going to blow up. I go ahead and I try to do wheel turns, and he stops it. I rolled a low number anyways, but he stops it. What is this? Oh, this is the Comet. The Comet comes down, kills off a bunch of my Cave Goblins, kills off a bunch of my Common Goblins, ends up putting 2 wounds onto Crom. God damn it. And, yeah, that's just basically the carnage. Over here, close combat, my freaking dogs put on another fucking couple wounds onto the freaking Rock. This is insane. This is just nuts. And he whiffs again. Now, actually, he does 2 wounds to me, but I did 2 wounds to him, he did 2 wounds to me. So I reform, and I reform where I move my freaking chariots this way, away from his other shit that could charge me right now. Basically, just like so. Over here, close combat, my fucking dogs just get ripped apart by fucking bruisers. And then he chases me towards my Forest Goblins, gets over this way, which was just a giant fuck up. The Spider was supposed to go in too. Forest Goblins weren't supposed to be that close, and it fucks me up because it's going to start off his turn. Ogre Khan's turn 4, 3, 3. So this is actually the aftermath. He charged his tribesmen in, or his bruisers in, did the standard shoot, tried to do some wounds, did nothing. I did, again, nothing. His chariot charges into my chariot, which is the only way that Rock was going to live, gets in. He doesn't charge the Spider, he decides to go around to get to threaten the flank of my Common Goblins. That's how it looks. Magic Phase got 5 power dice, goes ahead and he drops another Comet right there. God damn it, my one dog lived. Over here, he shoots a freaking fireball or that thaumaturgy spell into my Black Orcs, kills a couple Black Orcs, and basically close combat. This is the aftermath of the combat. I think I put another wound onto his Rock. My chariot runs. Koga's the last surviving member there. Koga runs. He chases with the with his cannon, but gets away. Or I get away, but I'm also in my own way of his Rock and Hunter, which is kind of bullshit. Like, I wish actually he caught me, because I want that giant gap in between us, but now my own fucking chariot's in the way, and it can also cause panics on my side because Zod is getting further and further away from the goblins. Alright, over here, close combat, he picks out my freaking wizard, kills him, kills a bunch of my Forest Goblins. My Forest Goblins are stubborn, I do stick, but I don't even do any wounds to his freaking 3 bruisers. This is killing me. This is like legitimately killing me. Like, I want to kill his fucking guys already. Let's go start off Orcs and Goblins turn 4. So I charge Zod in. I charge Crom in. Okay? Basically, because my whole goal right now is if I get Zod and Crom over on that side, I charged Crom into the chariot that was chasing my chariot. He fled and ran towards his general, right? I redirected Crom because the only person Crom could see is the Rock, and I charged Zod into the Rock as well, and I get in with both. Or no, he actually chose to flee, because if I did get in, I'm gonna rip apart that side, right? He lost combat once against my K-Pack, so he decides he's gonna flee. So he does. He flees off the table on purpose, causes his scraplings to flee off the table, which is totally cool. So Zod redirects into his, or actually that's what it was, I'm sorry. I think I charged the A-Rock into his Rock, and he saw it. He saw where the A-Rock would hit the Rock on the flank, overrun, touch that cannon, kill the cannon, and eventually just get towards his general, which he's in deep shit now, right? So that's why he fled. He fled off the table, right? So I redirect the Spider into the bruisers that are fighting the Forest Goblins. I charge Zod into the remaining chariot over on that side, and basically that's how it looks. I don't know why Crom's turn. Crom, I guess. Oh, Crom is going towards center to center towards that chariot. My other chariot rallies. Koga rallies in a horrible spot. I leave my Cave Goblins in horde formation because I need to release. I need to pass a terror check. That's about to happen, right? My other wolf rallies. I turn the Common Goblins. I know you can't tell because I really didn't want to turn all the models, and I told them this. I was like, I'm just gonna basically put my BSB on this side. The Shady Gits are facing this way. BSB is in the second rank, right? 3 Shady Gits in the front row, and they're facing the Tusker Cavalry. Okay. Magic Phase got 8 power dice. Go ahead and I do a Bewitching Glare onto that Rock. I am hoping to God he fails it. I am hoping to God he fails it. Like, this is just a Hail Mary. The other guy already has stupidity. He has the Troll Eater, so he needs to pass stupidity on his own. shoot these guys. I end up doing a couple wounds with shooting onto them, and then it's that's about it. Nothing else really happened. I guess Zod killed the chariot up there. I think the spider didn't kill the freaking bruisers. Yeah, it did. She did. Yeah, she did. Totally killed the bruisers up there, but don't see my forest goblins. I think my forest goblins died. Anyways, it's gonna go ahead and start off. Oh shit! He fucking put more wounds on my spider. He put another 3 wounds on my spider. I wonder if that was from a cannon or what. Anyway, it's gonna start off his turn. Ogre Khan's turn 4. Ogre Khan's turn 4. He charges these Tuskers into my common goblins, which I'm thinking, great. I'll be steadfast. I'll be able to hold. I actually might win this combat. We'll see. All right. This is where it gets really fucking tricky, and I mean really fucking tricky. He charges his Tusker hero into my cave goblins. All right, so I don't have to take a terror check. I think he charged them into my into Koga first. Koga ran through, panics, but everybody passes their panic, right? He charges his Rock into Crom, which Crom can't do anything about it. He's actually hoping that he could angle it where Crom runs away and Crom will run. He'll run into my cave goblin's ass with the Rock. All right, so he charges the Tusker into my cave goblins. I decide I'm going to release the Fanatics, and I didn't make the same mistake I did last time. Last time I did not throw the Fanatics in front of Crom. I actually threw them like trying to protect their own ass, but that Tusker hero is so small he'll be able to dodge them. So I'm going to throw both Fanatics in front of Crom, okay? So that way when the Rock has nowhere to go except hit the freaking Fanatics. That is my goal. So it does. I roll a perfect number. Like, tell me how you would be able to avoid that. Tell me how you'd be able to avoid that with one wheel. You can't. You're probably going to get hit with both of them. Alright? He needs a 5 to get in. He fails the fucking charge. He gets the Tusker character in. At first we thought the Rock was in the way of the Tusker, but we found a way that he would get through. Okay, that happened. So that's how the table looks. Right there. Magic phase, he got 7 power dice. He goes ahead and he does... I don't even know what the fuck he did. He did something. Probably a breath weapon or something. Close combat. Yeah, I don't think much happened in Magic. Close combat, he starts just shredding apart my freaking my common goblins. Now my common goblins, that is a lot of combat reds in my common goblins. I actually have 1 forest goblin left inside the forest, and he threw down a comet. I see it. The comet is in between Crom and the spider. And my 1 forest goblin with the banner. So he starts shredding my common goblins. My common goblins stick for a round. My common goblins are inside the objective. My cave goblins are in the objective. His Tuskers are not in the objective. We're holding the center still. Okay? So it's going to go ahead and start off my turn. Orcs and goblins turn 4. And this is basically where I lose it. I charge Crom into the chariot. He's going to kill the chariot. Great. Zod is doing great. Crom moves back because I couldn't. If I charged, I was going to hit my own Fanatics, and I just don't want to trust my luck on that. Crom could die easily to Fanatics. It's just a lot. It's a lot because there's 2 Fanatics there, so it'd be 46 strength, 5 hits, but I need 6s to wound myself, but then I clear out my own Fanatics. My Fanatics, like assholes, clear out the center, basically open up the center for him to rear charge my common goblins. And I don't know why I moved my spider this way. I just don't want to get hit by impact hit. Spider only has like 2 wounds left. So I just kind of like, well, fuck it. Let's clear out the center. Let's not give the Rock anywhere to go, right? Or a harder chance to go. Let's see. Close combat with the Tuskers. I only do 1 wound to the Tusker. Kill the Tusker with the lethal strike. Now, I win combat, he sticks on a low roll, which really fucks me. My cave goblins, if you can see in this picture here, are just getting fucking fucked up by his Tusker character. His Tusker character already killed pretty much my whole unit. They pop, they run, and basically now he's free. And like I said, this is just basically where I'm fucked. I just don't have an answer to this. Zod killed his cannon over there. And like I said, guys, I've been taking a lot less pictures than I normally would just because it is, I had no memory on the phone yet. Alright, he shoots scraplings at my freaking Black Orcs. He's been shooting scraplings at my Black Orcs. Anyways, it's going to start off his turn. Ogre Con's turn 4 or 5. He charges his Rock into Crom, thinking he's going to fuck Crom up, right? So he charges in, gets over there. Now, the one thing is, I saw this, he didn't see it. He's majority in the forest. I'm going to be steadfast. I was like, I'll take it, right? He moves his general out of the unit away from Zod because he sees Zod going for the tribesman, and basically he pincered my freaking my goblins. Magic Phase, he gets 6 power dice, and I don't think he did anything, but the comet comes down. Comet kills a bunch of my forest or common goblins, kills the last forest goblin, does a couple wounds onto, I don't know. No, actually, everybody's still alive. It's about to happen, though. I think that's just close combat. Close combat, he ends up killing a bunch of my common goblins. My common goblins are still sticking, but that rear charge really, really fucking hurt. Actually, yeah, this is the last picture. So, what ends up happening is Crom holds his steadfast roll from the Rock. Rock does like a wound or two, doesn't do much else. And Crom holds a steadfast, or not a steadfast, I'm sorry. Actually, I think I just stuck. I just stuck overall. But what ends up happening here is this is only turn 4 or 5. We're actually timing out around this time. And my common goblins pop. He freaking has fear. He's winning combat res now because that character in the back is just shredding my backside. And I don't have much I could do about it. So they pop, they run off the objective, he runs into the objective, we're getting like, and my mic cut out, so I totally forgot where I was, but basically, like I was saying, this is the last picture here, basically, he pops my common goblin unit. I believe Crom actually, just holds the fight against the Rock. I don't kill it, he doesn't kill me, we just kind of stick there. And we are told, I believe that before this turn happened, we were told that we were timing out, so basically we can't get turn 6 in. But at this point, it really didn't matter. I think he killed my spider, killed my forest goblins, killed my common goblins. Only thing I have left is Zod and Crom. Everything else is dead. So it's a big win for the Ogre player. He ended up getting 13 points before objective. He took the objective away from me because he overruns towards the objective, and it ends up becoming a 16-4 or 17-3. I think it was 16-4. I got 4 points. It was a big swing at the end. I was hoping to God that my common goblins would have been able to hold. I didn't really have an answer to his Tusker hero. That was an issue. But Lakelui was a great guy. It was a fun game, and I really can't, he did a good job, basically. Overall, I appreciated this game. Like I said, my last game was just a pain in the ass. I actually was talking to a bunch of people today about my last game, and I forgot one thing to mention was the fact that the guy I played, he ended up playing like 3 against 1, excuse me. He would talk to the translator, he would talk to somebody else, and then all of a sudden, they were telling him, no, don't do that, do this, and I caught on. Even though it was another language, I still caught on to the fact that they were doing that, which is kind of bullshit. Didn't have any issues like that with Lakelui. Lakelui, me and him were just fucking laughing the whole time. It was a fun game regardless. Kind of wish some things I did differently, like hindsight's 20/20, but at the same time, it's good that I got my bad games out of me during ESC, not ETC. I think that ETC I play a lot different, and you'll see it in the gameplay, and I can't wait to get you guys that content. Trying to rush through these as fast as I can. I'm going to pump this one out right now, work out for a little bit, work a little bit later, and then try to get you another one by tonight or tomorrow morning. So I'll try to get those all done as soon as possible. But I'm trying to pump them out as fast as I can just because I have strength and numbers that I'm going to hit this weekend, and I just have so many battle reports to get out there. Anyways, one more ESC game, and that's against oh my god, I forgot his name, but it's one of Super Oracle's friends, and that game was probably one of my funnest of the ESC period. The guy was having me laugh, and you'll see it when I make it, so hopefully I could recreate the funny moments on camera, on narration. But guys, if you guys like my content, please hit like and subscribe. If you can, share my video, get me out there, get the word out that James and ChiHammer are just a funny or great battle reporter. Guys, leave any comments in the comment section below. I like to hear what you guys have to say. Carl Eric from Norway constantly was telling me that he wants to prove who's a better Orc and Goblin general, and he played Lakelui earlier and he beat Lakelui. So if I can't beat Lakelui, he is clearly the superior ONG player. But my comment about that is, Carl Eric, I know you're listening to this. Where did you finish in the rankings in ETC? Because that's what I'm looking at. Anyways, besides that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you guys do enjoy my content and would like to show some support, you can always go to my Patreon. Any donations help. I'm trying to recover from this hell of a trip because it literally ripped apart my bank account. So anything really helps. Guys, I don't mean to ramble on. I really need to work out right now. So if there's anything else that you guys need to know, just put it in the comment section below. I'll fill it in. And I basically lost this game, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. And I think that's everything. Oh, MVP. My MVP goes to the Chariots, and I think the Chariots deserve it just because they held that rock for so long. Even though they didn't kill that rock, they should have freaking put a giant dent on them and then just grinded them the last wound or two that they might have needed to do. But instead, they failed me. That thing should have been dead. But overall, they did hold them up, and it did cause chaos in the middle. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to capitalize on it. The next turn, I tried to get the Crom in to help him with that +1 wound. Just didn't happen. But or even the impact hit could have killed him. But anyways, that's about it, guys. See you next time. Peace.